It was just past midnight when I got the call. A last-minute pizza order, extra large pepperoni, paid in full, to be delivered to an address I'd never seen before. I sighed, knowing I'd be late getting home, but the promise of a good tip was too tempting to pass up. $15 for a $3 delivery fee, plus whatever the customer wanted to throw in on top. In this economy, I couldn't afford to turn down any extra cash. I punched the address into my GPS, and we set off into the night. The address took me to the outskirts of town, where the streetlights grew sparse, and the houses few and far between. As I drove, the familiar hum of the city faded, replaced by an eerie silence broken only by the crunch of gravel under my tires. Finally, I arrived at a dilapidated old farmhouse. Its windows were dark and shutters hung askew. The place looked like it hadn't seen a living soul in years. I double-checked the address on my phone. It matched. With a deep breath, I grabbed the pizza box and stepped out of the car. The night air was thick and heavy, carrying a faint smell of decay. I approached the front porch, each step causing the worn wooden boards to creak ominously. I raised my hand to knock, but before I could, the door swung open with a long, drawn-out groan. "Hello," I called out, my voice sounding unnaturally loud in the stillness. No answer came. I peered into the darkness beyond the threshold, straining to see any sign of movement. "Pizza delivery?" I tried again, my words echoing in the empty space. Just as I was about to turn and leave, a voice whispered from the shadows, "Come in." I left the money on the table. The words seemed to float on the air, impossibly close, yet distant at the same time. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but something about that voice held me in place. Maybe it was the isolation of the situation, or the promise of a hefty tip. I wasn't sure. Against my better judgment, I took a tentative step inside. The floorboards groaned under my weight, and the smell of mold and rot intensified. I fumbled for my phone, turning on the flashlight app. The weak beam barely penetrated the gloom, revealing peeling wallpaper and empty rooms. "Hello?" I called again, my voice trembling. "Have your pizza. Where's the money?" No response came, just the soft creaking of the house settling around me. I moved further in, scanning for any sign of life or the promised payment. As I reached what must have been the living room, my light fell upon a small table in the corner. My heart leaped. Maybe the money was there after all. But as I approached, I realized the table was bare, its surface covered in a thick layer of dust. A chill ran down my spine as I realized how far I'd ventured into the house. I turned to leave, my breath coming in short, panicked gasps. That's when I saw it, a figure standing in the doorway, blocking my exit. It was tall and thin, unnaturally so, with limbs that seemed too long for its body. Its face was hidden in shadow, but I could feel its gaze boring into me. I stumbled backward, my heart pounding in my chest. Who are you?" I stammered, my voice barely above a whisper. The figure didn't respond, didn't move. It just stood there, silent and still as a statue. Suddenly, the air grew colder, and I could see my breath misting in front of me. The figure began to move, not walking, but gliding across the floor towards me. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. In a panic, I threw the pizza box at the approaching form and bolted for the nearest window. The glass shattered as I crashed through, landing hard on the overgrown lawn outside. I scrambled to my feet, ignoring the cuts and bruises, and ran for my car. As I fumbled with the keys, I risked a glance back at the house. The figure stood in the broken window, watching me. Its face was still hidden, but I could swear I saw the glint of sharp teeth and a wide, impossible grin. I peeled out of the driveway, tires spinning on the loose gravel. As I sped away, I caught one last glimpse of the farmhouse in my rearview mirror. For a moment, I thought I saw multiple figures in the windows, all watching me go. I didn't stop driving until I was back in the heart of the city, surrounded by the comforting glow of streetlights and the sounds of late-night traffic. My hands were shaking as I pulled into the pizza shop's parking lot. To this day, I can't explain what happened in that house. I've tried to find the address again, but it's as if it never existed. Sometimes on quiet nights when I'm alone, I swear I can still hear that whispered voice inviting me in. And I wonder, what would have happened if I had stayed?